Magic is real. Institutions around the world are trying to convince everyone that magic does not exist, that it is a trick, and yet the world is at this very moment being controlled by magic. How does magic work? Magic works with a belief. That is why they call it believe. Believe. If you believe lies, then there is some kind of a law that as long as you keep on wanting to attract these lies, you will be kept on receiving lies. For example, if you look at an image from NASA or from SpaceX and you look at a car in outer space and it looks completely fake, but you choose to accept that it is real, then the universe will not bring justice to you. It will keep on feeding you SpaceX fake images. If you look at the video of the moon landing and you think or you decide not to do anything about it with your head, I mean just with your head, you don't have to do anything else. All you have to do is say, you know what, it doesn't look real, I do not accept it, and I have realized that NASA and SpaceX, they are lying to us, and they ought to be closed down. I am closing them down. You do this with your brain power, and I guarantee you that NASA will be closed down. Okay, so I have done it with my power, and then you probably thinking, yeah, but I don't see it that it's closed. You don't see it yet, but it is closed. And as long as you believe, it will be a reality. This is what magic is. Magic is you creating with your head. And maybe it takes a month from our perspective. Maybe it takes 20 years. Maybe it takes 5 years. But the more power, the more humans realizing that it is not true, then it crumbles faster. Kind of like Cristobal Columbus. They say he discovered America. Obviously he didn't, because there were people already living in America. They are called Native Americans. So don't come and tell me a lie when I am smarter. I know that if people are living there, this means that Cristobal Columbus did not discover anything. And the textbooks ought to be changed because they are wrong. But the textbooks are not only wrong about this lie, they are wrong about so many others. And it is up to us, with our brain power, with our magic, with our beliefs, to bring a new reality into this world. Let's think about something. The best way to lie to somebody, to deceive somebody, is to tell them a little bit of truth and then the lie. This I have learned from observing our system. So, we are told that capitalism works in supply and demand, based on supply and demand. So if a business has a lot of demand, then it should theoretically thrive. And if it doesn't have demand, then the market should correct itself and get rid of that business because it's not working. So we go around looking at small companies and we see that pretty much is the way it works. But then we have other factors in it. If the owner of the business knows corrupt officials, then he can bribe the corrupt officials and import certain goods without paying taxes. Obviously, he is paying some kind of fee to this corrupt official, but the fee is probably lower than it should be. And now the competition is not fair. It is not proper, let's say. Let's use this word instead of fair. And then we see that this particular business, let's call it business X, as they say, X marks the spot. So we are using magical words to remind certain people of the certain things we have to do. So the competition is no longer fair. And there I go using the word again, fair. I don't like to use the word fair because fair means white and it means just. And I am a mixed person, but I am also a person that understands that we do not wish to associate the color of certain people, of let's say half of my family, white, with being just, and the other color of other people being yellow or being black as not meaning just. I am mixed, so I have African blood and I have Indian yellow blood, and but I still like to use the proper words, even though the custom comes back and makes me sometimes use the wrong words. But coming back to the corporations, so now the small business will become a bigger business, and because the officials that run the government are tied to this business, one receives a bribe when goods are come across the border, and then this business, even though it's supposed to be private, it is in reality linked to a government that should be protecting and making everything, let's say, in some way fair, just for everybody. And this is not happening because we have certain individuals that are benefiting more, and so they are allowing injustices. And this is in a small scale. Now, what happens when the business becomes bigger? Then what about when the official has a cousin also that requires a certain fee? So then the fee gets larger, the business gets larger, and now the government is working with this particular business, and they are benefiting each other. Then we have, let's say, this business becomes larger and larger and stronger. Then it goes to another country, and if it does effectively, if it works effectively to bribe these officials, then it will continue to grow, and it will in some way own the government. And then what about if we call this business, let's say, let's call it yellow, just because, it's called yellow. And then all of a sudden, it has such a budget to create advertisements and grow all over the world. So where the average individual goes around thinking that capitalism works a certain way, but yet the system, whether it's called capitalism or called socialism or call it communism, as long as there are individuals who will gain more benefits than the others, it will not necessarily work well, because the corruption takes over. So, what am I saying? That no system is going to work ever? Well, there is a way to change the world, and it is through magic. It's called blood over intent. We prick our finger with one drop of blood, and we write, I intend to bring heaven on earth. We publish it on the internet. And then each individual gains the power to make the world the place that we will in our minds. And I'm not talking to those who do not feel the magic. I am talking to those who know magic is real, to those who feel it in their blood. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the blood. That is why on Sundays, churches cannibalize on a man that perhaps never existed. But they drink of the blood and they eat of the flesh of a man named Jesus. And everybody sees it like it's okay, it's only symbolism. No, it's not symbolism. It is a magical act, and a very dirty one, because you never touch somebody else's blood. The pure magic and the right, just magic is to use your own blood, never to go and use somebody else's. So, I invite all my brothers and sisters to change the world, to make this a better place. And next time when you look at a big corporation, don't think that that corporation got there just because it's merit. But know that the folk who control the governments have put together these fake organizations, and they put their families to be CEOs, their cousins, their nephews, their uncles. The game is rigged, and we know how to fix it through blood over intent. Love you all.